Yo, 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 what it do, baby? It's your boy, Ty Sterling, a.k.a. Comedy Bones, and here we are with the For the Culture Live podcast. Say what up, Paul?
Yo, what up?
Yeah, that's my boy, Paul, the engineer. You know, he takes care of everything behind the scenes. If I sound a little nervous today, Paul, I apologize. I left a McChicken on my seat, and I'm scared a homeless man might break my window for it. So I'm a little shaky right now. But so if I just get up and leave out of nowhere, you know what happened.
All right.
Anyways.
I would be more afraid that it's going to melt into your seat, bro.
Yeah, it is hot, yo.
Yeah.
97 last time I checked.
You're about to have mayonnaise on your seat. Not on your passenger seat like normal.
So, I know we've been on a hiatus, and that's mainly my fault because I don't know how to stay away from Miami. I keep going back home. But I had a good reason this time. I went back for my birthday, August 15th. Same birthday as Nipsey. Rest in peace, Nipsey. I turned 30. And I'm still telling people I'm a struggling comic. It's okay, though. It's all right. Some develop slower than others. But I had a good time in Miami. Got to spend time with my family, all my friends, the people that's closest to me. I only spent like 2 weeks and a half there. And I left just in time to get away from that damn hurricane, which it didn't even hit because it just hovered over the Bahamas and then disappeared into the ocean somewhere. So, still praying for the people in Bahamas. I hope everything's okay with them. If you can, you guys do what you can to donate to a worthy cause for the Bahamas. Yeah, we had to start the show without Nick because traffic is probably holding him hostage like it does the rest of us. So there's that. I went to Miami. I went to a festival in Leimert Park. Nick was actually performing there. That was pretty cool. Had some decent comics on the lineup, probably like 4 or 5 comics on there. Some good comics on there, and it was pretty good. It was outside. It was hot as fuck. But
what time was it?
It was like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay. That's not the time for comedy.
Yeah, like it was like
with the sun out.
Yeah, midday. I mean, the crowd had a gazebo, but then like the stage was so far from the gazebo that if you really wanted to interact, you would have to get off the stage and like step into that mid space. In that mid space, the sun was just beaming. I think Nick was up there with no shirt on and shit like it. Nick had no shirt. Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, there's that. I seen Leimert Park is so hood, right? They had like horses for the kids and shit like that. And with that being said, like the horses had bandanas, like blue bandanas on the horses' heads, and I was like, yo, what is this? And then I see like the owner of the horse, he's dressed in all blue, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
that's a Crip horse.
Yes. It was the crippiest horse that we've ever seen. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Did you happen to see the Chappelle stand-up?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God, how would you think of it?
Oh, dude, I loved it.
I love it.
Yeah.
As soon as he dropped that mic, I said, "Yeah, fuck that political correctness shit, man. Mm-hmm. It's fucking comedy. Let us live." Like, people nowadays they're really going to, if we allow them, they are going to destroy comedy. They're going to ruin it. They're going to ruin it with all this political correctness. And before, like, I actually, like, started, like, getting on stage and doing comedy and stuff like that, I didn't realize, like, how important that was. Because I used to get sensitive with, like, certain jokes. Like, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, so when Cat Williams did that Michael Jackson bit after he died, I was sensitive about it. Like, fuck Cat Williams. But then, like, the more and more I got into comedy, the more and more I started to understand that, like, it's jokes. And a lot of times the comics don't even really feel that way. They just say it because it's funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like we need to, us as people, we need to not let these PC soldiers take over this shit. Mm-hmm. Like I really don't know what I'd do without comedy, dog.
Yeah.
Like, it'll fuck me up. I saw online they had Dave Chappelle and this other white lady. I don't know who the comic is.
Oh, you're talking about Hannah Gadsby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got like the greatest rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and then the audience feedback wasn't so good. And then Chappelle got like a terrible rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and then his audience feedback was like 80 something, 90 something.
99.
It was 99. See,
Yeah,
so
insane.
come on, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's something going on over there. I think really what it is, Rotten Tomatoes is like we don't want to support it too much because then it'll look like we're supporting his political incorrectness. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't want to be caught in that. But like I said, man, like when you're a president, it's different. You got to be politically correct. When you're a professional, a businessman, or like a chairman of something, you got to carry yourself. But we're comics, man. We roast people all the time. We talk about dead people. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember, I forgot who was getting, like, you have these comedy roasts, and they talk about these people like you've never heard them talk about these people before. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay because it's comedy. Like it's like a safe space for people like us. So, yeah, I really appreciated his stand up because you start to see like people like I love Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? I love Kevin Hart. But sometimes I feel like he tries to be like too politically correct. And like they were asking him like, why he doesn't make jokes like this, why he doesn't make jokes like that. And he was saying like he doesn't want to single out a certain like group of people. But that's what comedy is. You know
And they even got to him.
Yeah, they got to him too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The nicest, one of the nicest guys in comedy.
Exactly.
And they took him down.
So what the fuck?
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Fuck it then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gonna come get me anyway for some tweets that I tweeted 10 years ago. So fuck it. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
I might as well just be me.
Maybe they didn't sell him seatbelts. Maybe it was the PC,
Yo,
the
hey.
PC people.
Hey, I saw two different memes. It was like a Fisher Price car, like turned over. They're like, oh my God, Kevin Hart's been in an accident. And then there was another one. It was like Kevin Hart. He was like giving like a thumbs up. He's like, it's okay. I was in my car seat. That shit killed me.
And what's crazy is that's probably the worst day of his life. That thing. And he'll probably appreciate the jokes that were made.
Exactly.
About it, you know,
Exactly.
somebody said, don't worry, when the car hit the ditch, he went through the air conditioning and came out the exhaust. And the guy who said that was one of his best friends coming up in comedy, like when they were younger.
You see?
You know?
You see, like,
yeah.
It's, man, you gotta have different skin to be a comedian, man, and you gotta have different skin to like appreciate comedy without getting sensitive about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm sensitive as fuck when it comes to certain shit, but when it comes to comedy, like all that shit is off. Like,
Yeah.
that sensitivity meter is off. Like I don't care about none of that.
Because it's understood where Patrice came up like with his bits, where he started his bits as offensive, quote unquote offensive as they were, and where someone like Brian Regan or Jim Gaffigan came from with his jokes, they all came from the same place in their brain.
Yeah.
I think this is funny.
Yeah.
You know, they all came out. I mean, you could even argue Michael Richards was trying to be funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he didn't. Did you ever hear what Chappelle said about Michael Richards?
Oh my God. He's like that's what he says. Like, I think I'm 90% comedian, 10% human. Because when he was doing that, he's like, the human in me was like, man, fuck this guy. Who does he think he is saying the N-word like that? And then the comedian side of me was like, fuck, man, he's having a bad set. Like, he's like, don't let him break you. Don't let him break you, Mike. So and it was actually, that was like something that made me like open my eyes up more to the shit. Like, damn, like he didn't even like see it as him like saying the N-word. He just saw it as like he's trying to make a joke and they not feeling it. Like, let's not like let that shit break him. You know what I mean? Like, he saw it from strictly a comedian standpoint, not even like as a regular person, strictly from a comedian standpoint. So, like I said, you gotta have like tough skin to be able to do shit like that and overlook shit and look past it and see it like, oh, it's just a joke. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's that. Did you happen to get a look at that Kobe interview, or at least like part of it when he was saying, where they asked him, they said, where would Shaquille O'Neal be?
Oh yeah,
if he had your work ethic?
Yeah, and you know what's crazy?
Uh-huh.
So I have a friend that works for the company that put on that event.
Oh.
So it was essentially this dude. I don't know what they sell. They sell some kind of insurance or something. I say it like it's a pyramid scheme. It's something. She slid into the DMs late at night trying to get me to join, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's what this is about."
You get to her house, you're in a living room with like 4 other people. Like, what the fuck is this?
Dude, I had a joke. I used to say, "I've never gotten pussy from somebody holding a clipboard." So this was a company that is very motivational, very like, into bettering yourself, but also there is the aspect of they're a business trying to make money. So what they did was they threw millions and millions of dollars at a bunch of keynote speakers to come in and basically give like a work ethic, not advice, but like a motivational speech to all the workers. So the whole audience were workers from that company from all over the country.
Wow.
Right? And so they brought Kobe, and Kobe decided to throw some shade. But if you learn the context of he's trying to motivate the workers in the audience to work harder, then it's like you could kind of see why. Yeah. But out of context, it just looks like he just threw shade for no reason.
Yeah. All right. I'm a Kobe fan, so where my opinion comes from is absolutely biased. Right? It's absolutely biased. This is how I see it. You ask Kobe a question. Where would this guy be if he had your work ethic? Not saying he doesn't have any work ethic. Just saying, where would he be if he had your work ethic? Because everybody knows Kobe was a lunatic. This man worked out like 4 or 5 times a day. You know what I'm saying? He said he would get up at 4, get to the gym by 5, work out from like 5 to like 8, right? Go have breakfast, chill out for a little bit, go back at 12, do the same shit again for like 3 hours. Go home, chill for a little bit, then go back again. And he just do that shit till 9 o'clock at night. He literally didn't do anything else. So if you imagine Shaq doing some shit like that, of course he'd be
skinnier.
That's one, right? And then he'd be the best, like Kobe said, he'd be the best player ever.
Yeah.
Like Shaq missed so many points at the free throw line. You get what I'm saying? Like his point total would be so much higher. But whatever. And then I guess like Shaq like took it the wrong way. He came at him. Oh, you don't get statues in front of the Staples Arena by being lazy. I didn't say you were lazy, Shaq. I just said you don't work as hard as I do. Like you don't have the same work ethic as me. It sounds bad, but it is what it is. Like so, if somebody came up to me and was like, "Where do you think you would be if you hit the stage as much as Nick did?" You know what I mean? I'm like, shit. I'd probably be a way better comedian than I am now because he hits the stage more than me.
Yeah, Nick is your Kobe.
Basically, like he hits the stage more than me, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to get to that point, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of people just took it out of context. And then he also said, like, we would win more championships if you pass the ball. That I probably agree with. I mean, that Pistons series, though, I feel like they had no chance. The Pistons, their defense was just too good. Karl Malone was coming off injury. Shaq was still out of shape. Kobe is chasing Rip Hamilton around all these fucking picks. Then he has to go down and try to play offense with Tayshaun Prince, 6'11", 7-foot wingspan guarding him.
Yeah. And plus, the Lakers were cold, and the Pistons were the hottest that they've ever been.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah. And wasn't 57-year-old Gary Payton on that team as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Him and Derek Fisher could not guard anybody.
Yeah.
They couldn't. He wasn't the glove anymore. He was more like the mitten. Not even. Like
he was a broken condom at that point.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see the new statue that they're putting out front of Staples?
Lisa Leslie.
Yep. I'm just waiting for Ronnie Turioff. Clippers, Lakers legend.
Hey, we used to call her Lisa Lesbian when we were in middle school.
You're not wrong.
Because she's a lesbian, right? Is she?
I have no clue.
I always thought she was. So we would just call her Lisa Lesbian.
No, who's the one that's dating, what was that dude? The dude with he looked like he had a dinosaur forehead.
Sheldon Williams.
Who
Candace Parker.
Oh, yeah. That was ridiculous.
I was like, because she's not a bad-looking basketball. Because
not at all.
Most of the basketball-playing girls, like, they're like, eh.
They look like Nick. They look like Nick with longer hair.
For every minute Nick doesn't come through that door, we just going to roast his ass. Yeah. They all look like Nick. But Candace Parker, she's actually good looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when she got with him, I'm like, okay, come on. Like that baby's head is gonna be humongous.
He looks like the same type of dinosaur as like what was it, Ducky from The Land Before Time? Yeah. Is that messed up? He looked like Luther Vandross if he got hit in the head with an Acme hammer. That's what he looked like. I harbor a lot of resentment. I've been writing these for years.
Yo, I had this joke that I was like trying to tell my homeboy, and we were talking about because one of my close friends does porn, right? Mm-hmm. He works for Blacked.
Okay.
And like, if you ever watch Blacked, he's one of the newer guys. Like his name is Louis Smalls. He has like the little dreads or twists like I do right now, and a 6'9" dude, just big, right? And people would always send this to me and be like, yo, is that Terrence? I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, it is Terrence. He's like, how do you know? I'm like, I know those fucking tattoos. Like, me and him used to run through girls in the dorms, like, back in college. So, like, I know. That's him.
That's better than being like, I know those moves.
Wait a minute.
I've studied that playbook.
It's like, you sent me a picture of his back and he's hitting some girl. Like, I know that guy. Like, how do you know? It's just his back. I know them cheeks anywhere.
He works at White Girl on a Stick.
So we were talking about it, and then I was like, yo, you sending me this, but I hope you're not whacking off to this because this is weird now because we know him, right? Yeah. Like, it's very awkward. And then we just went into another conversation. I'm like, he's like, well, you don't think jacking off is just like weird, period? I was like, if you think, like, if you, like, remove yourself from the situation, right, and stand from the outside looking in, you don't think it's weird, like, searching other people having sex and then beating your dick to it? Like, he's like, it's borderline gay.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gay, but he's not wrong.
He's like, it's weird. He's like, I was like, yeah, it's weird, but it's socially accepted. So, like, by all means, do your thing, right? My gripe with it is, if I can just search on the internet, right, and do that, why I can't just look into your window and do the same shit?
Yeah, well, I think because it's consensual when it's on film. Let's start there, Ty. You weirdo. See, I've been taking pictures of my neighbors it's the same thing.
What the fuck?
I don't think it is. Have you ever paid for nudes?
No.
I paid for nudes from one girl. And you know why? Because the money went toward her cancer treatments.
Oh my God.
That's not the worst part. The worst part was, so it gets way worse.
Oh no.
So I paid her for she was running a Labor Day special. No, I don't know. That's just the holiday that was near us. But I offered, like, basically, so she's like, whatever, 2 pics for this amount. And I was like, you know what, you're going through some tough times. So I want to see some titties. I was like, cool. So I sent her, and she's like, well, what do you want? And I sent her, like, what I want. And then, so the first one came, and it was dope. And the second one came, and it was just, like, just a stupid picture. So I was like, oh, yeah, the first one was dope, but the second one really wasn't dope. So then me and her got in a back and forth about how I was unhappy. So basically, her customer service skills were not great. I wanted a return, and she didn't. She had a no refund policy.
that goes to... Yeah, this brings me to another point. You want a refund, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking, all this Me Too shit, the best way to avoid it is to pay for pussy.
Yeah.
Pay for the pussy.
With receipts.
Thank you. See, that's what I was getting at. Pay for the pussy. And then when she gets up and like, all right, I'm getting ready to leave. Wait a minute. Come back. Where you going? Well, you want me to lay with you? Can you sign this receipt, please?
Yeah, exactly.
I need receipts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you would put on the receipt.
I don't know.
Ass, like, anal, blowjob. I don't know.
Just before sex.
It's a breakdown and everything. See, right here, it says 4 minutes of foreplay here. You know, that costs this much, you know.
I ate you out, so that's a 10% discount.
You didn't come prepared. You weren't wet already. I had to get you there, so that should bring down the price.
You ever think like that? It's weird for the people who do. I've never paid for pussy, but the people who pay for pussy, but then want her to enjoy it. I'm like, bro, you're getting a product. You
Yeah,
don't share
what the
that.
fuck?
I'm not buying McDonald's and then sharing it with the worker.
Yeah,
You
what
know?
the fuck? No.
Yeah, it
No.
doesn't make sense. I eat out that prostitute. Why would you ever eat out a prostitute?
Yeah,
Unless she is giving you a discount.
yeah. That would be
Unless you
the
charge
only,
her afterwards.
That would be the only way.
That's a good move, dude. If you offer, say, it's 100, and she's like, all right, cool. And then she's like, all right, where's my 100? You're like, no, you owe me 100.
Yeah,
That
like,
was the agreement.
I mean, I'd be a little scared though. You wake up with like no lips the next day because
That's true.
she I don't know.
She acid washed your
I was talking to my uncle, right? And he was saying, I don't understand how all these women could be living with their baby daddy. He's paying everything. And they're out like dating other dudes, which is cool, but they will tell the other dude that she's not fucking him.
Yeah.
He's like, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
He pays every bill in that house
Yeah.
and takes care of the kid,
Yeah.
and you're not fucking him? Like, he's like, it couldn't be me. He's like, everything that you fucking do, you're going to pay me in some pussy.
Yeah.
He's like, you use the milk, that's about $3.50 worth of pussy
Yeah.
in that bowl of cereal.
It's
Like, he literally was like breaking down every utility bill, everything used in the fucking house. He's like, you watch this show for this long, that's about this much pussy. So get ready. Like that was like his whole thing.
And if she had a baby, she has a lot more pussy.
Exactly.
By the way, did you see that YG and Kehlani are dating?
Yeah, and he just had a kid, and she just had a kid.
Both just had kids.
That's fucking weird.
It is. That's the first thing I thought.
Yo, somebody said we should have saw this coming because Kalani had a picture of her in the hotel, like a selfie. And if you zoom in, it was like some loafers on the ground. You know, YG wears those weird loafer shits. And there was a pair of those on the floor in the back. They're like, you should have seen this coming. Who the fuck else loafers are those? Those aren't hers. That shit was hilarious.
Andre 3000. They wearing elf shoes.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy. How could you just have a baby? But then I was reading, you know, I like to, being holed up after my surgery, I was chilling and watching all this, you know, pop culture stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So them talking about like, you know, yeah, but she was never romantically involved with the dude. I'm like, then why have the baby?
Yeah, what?
That's weird because he's gonna have a weird life.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
People are weird, man.
Yeah.
People are fucking weird.
I don't think Nick's ever showing up.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so. But
just do the show. I'll catch the next one.
Basically, he should have just texted me that.
That's him passing by to say fuck you.
Fuck you.
No, I thought I saw his head in the window, but
I mean, you can't miss it.
Lisa Leslie? No.
You can't miss it. His head is huge. You know, he can't wear snapbacks.
Really?
Yes, his head is so big it does not snap. Like he has to leave it open. And even when he leaves it open, I remember, I'll never forget this. He put it on backwards, right? And it was so tight that, you know, like the straps on it, the straps were like this, like sticking out because it was so tight. I was like, yo, Nick, you need like head surgery. That's crazy. Your mom is an angel.
Yeah.
Your mom is a transformer.
Let's look online for extra large snapbacks. See if they make them.
That's crazy.
Hey, body positivity, big is beautiful. Even if it's your noggin. Did you see all this Antonio Brown stuff?
Bro, I feel like, you know, I'm a Raiders fan. I feel like a girl going through a breakup right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like he did this on purpose.
Yeah.
He definitely did it on
Oh,
purpose.
for sure.
Because he was talking about, oh, they're racist in Oakland. And then he goes and signs with Boston?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever been to Boston?
If he has one bad game, he's done.
Oh, they're gonna roast him. They're gonna light him on fire over there.
I wonder if his deal's fully guaranteed. Is it?
I think he's getting 15. 9 of it is guaranteed.
Okay.
$9 million is guaranteed.
Well, because the reason that, you know, he posted that. So, I'm a Steelers fan.
Uh-huh.
You know, so, you know, I saw Antonio Brown. You know, I saw the exit from the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're getting ready to play the biggest game of the season. It's a must-win for us to stick in the playoffs. And this dude skipped practice, and he's posting videos at home of him in his pool with his kids, like with like inflatables and stuff. But somebody said, I think it was on Petros and Money, where they said Antonio Brown's coming to the Raiders with his newly circumcised feet.
Dog, he literally did everything he can do to get out of Oakland.
Yeah.
He got there, fucking froze his feet off.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to kick me out? No. Okay. Then he has this thing with the fucking helmet.
Stupid.
He tried to appeal it 3 times, you know? Nothing. Okay, they're still going to keep me in Oakland. Then he starts missing fucking practice, right? Then he goes to when he does show up to practice, tells the coach he's going to punch him in the fucking face after he calls him a cracker.
Calls him a cracker, yeah.
Tells him he's going to punch him in the face. And then when they fine him for it, he gets upset that they fined him.
Yeah, he posts a letter on his Instagram, and then I just like how he said at the press conference, what was it, 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, it's time to, he's like, it's time to like shut up. He's like, it's time to shut up and prove it, you know? And then the next day he releases that video. It's like, yeah, you did a great job shutting up.
I knew there was something wrong with him when he released those DMs of him and Juju Smith.
Yeah.
Like when Juju was like asking him for like help. Like,
yeah,
you got a rookie that looks up to you. You know what I mean? Sees you as like a mentor. And you shit on him like that. He didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
This kid, I guess they gave him like player of the year for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Juju Smith.
Yeah.
They gave him that, and he felt like slighted some type of way. Like, oh, why would they give it to him?
He
should have gave it to me.
He did.
Yeah, and you know the kid is just happy about getting the little award that they gave him. Yeah. And here you come on the hate train.
And the kid's a beast, dude. Juju is a beast.
Yeah.
We replaced Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell with Juju and with James Conner. And both of them are like they're not bad players.
Yeah.
You know, James Conner was the reason why we let Le'Veon walk like that. Because we already had a running back.
Yeah. I mean, he ain't no Le'Veon, but he's good.
Exactly. And Juju ain't Antonio Brown.
But he's good.
And they both don't have egos.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I'd take that any day. We already have Big Ben. We only need, we got the big raping gorilla. We only need
honestly, bro, I don't even know how he's still in the league with that shit. With that fucking rape thing that happened, it
got dismissed.
Yeah, it got dismissed. But it's like, I guess maybe he's not as big of an athlete as Kobe Bryant is. Because they crucified Kobe. They still be getting on Kobe sometimes. Like, I hear people, still call him a rapist and shit like that. But
also, like...
But they do call him Ben Rapist Burger.
Yeah.
So.
But also with Kobe, like, it didn't sound like, it sounded like something that's, like, common occurrence,
Yeah,
It came out during this time where all these chicks were coming out with regrets. Like the Aziz chick. It was just regrets. And it's like, well, did you tell him anything? And no, I was too scared. It's like, if you don't verbally say something.
Yeah, it's like, what? How do I know?
Yeah.
And, like, I've been on Twitter, and they probably going to kill me for this.
Right? Yeah.
They're going to.
At Comedy Bones.
When I make it, they're going to go back on the podcast, and they're going to pull up this clip. A girl said, a woman doesn't have to say no. You should be able to read the body language.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that, right? But if I don't get drunk like that, I'm just speaking from a man that could be drunk. So if we're both drunk and you don't want to do anything and I'm not really all in my right mind, how could I really read your body language to the point where it's just like, all right, I know she doesn't want to. Because if I pull my dick out and I pull your pants off, at some point, like, you should be able to be like, no, stop, or slow down, don't do that. Something. Like, you don't say anything, you go through the whole motion of it, and then later on it's like, oh, I didn't feel right doing it. It's like, damn, like, he didn't fucking know. You know what I mean? And this is not to say that, like, people who do rape, like, it's not to say that, like, it doesn't happen like that and you were probably just silent because you were scared. But sometimes, you know what I mean, like, if you at least voice it, you know what I mean, you give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you don't say anything, you kind of like, you're not really giving yourself a chance to get out of the situation.
Yeah.
You're just kind of being silent and hoping that he can read your mind or read the body language that you're giving him. And some people just suck at reading body language.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I mean, look at Louis.
ugh.
Louis asked, and they said yes. And of course, if he was not to say a smarter dude, but a more socially aware dude, he would know that it wasn't cool, you know. But then him probably being socially awkward was like, well, a yes is a yes. That's what we've been taught.
Yeah.
You know, at first we were taught no means no. Then we were taught yes means yes. Now you gotta sign paperwork and stuff or whatever happens before.
Yeah, you really gotta like tiptoe around shit. And like me, I've always told myself, I'm like, man, a woman will never get me.
Yeah.
You'll never get me. Because if I go to a girl's house, I don't even sit on their couch.
Yeah.
Until they like, you go ahead, sit down.
And you might leave evidence.
Like everything, like you literally have to tell me everything.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, like, hey, do you want to have sex? I don't know. Do you?
Yeah.
Yes, I want to. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, speak it into my iPhone recorder.
Yeah, please. You know what I mean? Like, you'll never get me.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's just being a good person, you know. Even, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I had to take a whole to graduate from college. I had to take a whole course on consent and like sexual assault and all this stuff. And even going through, like, if you apply all of those principles to some of these situations, like Louis passed everything that you're supposed to do. He did, and it still came back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I know this is a touchy subject, no pun intended, but but sometimes, bro, you just gotta use common sense. And I'm gonna teach my kids, you know, just never put yourself in a situation that could possibly cause a negative outcome like that. You know, never put yourself in a. I mean, you see some people, whether it's these sexual assault charges or even for every, and there's definitely a bunch of times where, like, you know, innocent people are killed by the police and stuff. But if you look, like, 1 out of every 3 of those times, and you look, well, they held up a fake gun to the cop. It's like, all right, you know.
Yeah, you can't expect, like, all right, because you know that's a very, like, touchy subject for me.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 friends that got killed by the police. One of them got tased to death.
Yeah.
Right, and another one was out here. They killed him, shot him. They said he had a gun, but they never found the gun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that I believe it happened in Compton. I believe.
There's shady shit, dude. The LAPD is like, I mean, dude.
You heard about the investigation?
It's a whole track record, bro.
There's an investigation going on right now. They asked the dude. It was he's a Mexican cop, and they have like these tattoos and shit like that.
Oh yeah, the secret club thing.
Yeah, and they asked him like, "Do you have any ill feelings towards African Americans?" It took this man 15 minutes to answer. Like, he was literally silent. Like,
yeah,
like he didn't know what to say, and he's like, if we're being honest, yes, I do have feelings towards African Americans. I'm like, damn, dog, you know how scary that is? Like, I get pulled over not knowing that he fucking hates my guts, and I don't even know him, and like any little thing that I do that might piss him off, it could be the end for me right there.
Yeah,
like, that's scary as fuck.
And my thing is, because, you know, a lot of these things happen out of fear, you know, and cops, what happens is, because, so I went on I took a law enforcement class, right, a long time ago, and part of my requirement was to go on a ride-along, which was crazy. So I went on a ride-along with Pomona PD, and the way he was acting towards me, he was a great cop, like, great dude, but he was very callous towards certain people, you know, and it made me realize that what happens is, you deal with so much bullshit that you prejudge every situation you come to, you know? So if you had, you know, let's say you had a black or Mexican gangbanger that killed your partner, you're going to feel a type of way towards those people. But then when you come to the next situation, you're going to continue those feelings, which is why it's a flawed system, policing, right? Which is what I don't get is how come, you know, like predominantly black areas, how come it's not predominantly black cops?
I say that all the time. I'm like, how can you police in an area that you're not even from, or that you're not even familiar with?
Yeah, because then that's just gonna add. If you put a a middle class white guy who he always dreamed of being a cop, and you throw him in the middle of Compton. If you put him on Slauson,
he's shooting everybody.
It's gonna be fear, bro.
He's gonna shoot everybody.
He's gonna hold that gun a little tighter.
Because you want to know why? You want to know why? The only thing he knows about Compton is what he sees on TV.
That too, yeah.
The rappers and in the movies and shit like that. Like, for example, you had Training Day, right?
Yeah.
And you had Denzel in the Jungle, right?
Yeah.
Right over there, right near my house. The Jungle by Jim Gilliam Park.
Yeah.
So right in the Jungle, right? I play in a basketball league there. I'm comfortable there. You know what I mean? I go there. I dap everybody. Everybody knows me. I'm comfortable there.
Yeah.
But if I am from Beverly Hills and I want to be a cop and they put me in that district over there, and the only thing I know is watching Training Day and seeing all those gang members surrounding Denzel and like seeing how mean they look, I'm like, oh fuck, that place is fucked up.
Yeah.
I gotta go in there already ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
you come excited, bro. And I want to give a shout out to. Have you ever heard of? I don't know what the actual name of it is, but it's called the Hood Tour. And it's a guy, and it's one of those vans. It's like like the vans like go to watch celebrity houses and stuff. It's a van like that, but you pay. It's like $75. It's a 3-hour ride. He takes you to all the iconic locations. The restaurant from Rush Hour. Takes you to different places from like Training Day and stuff like that. And he takes you all throughout. But the guy who runs it was a guy who did 10 years for. He was a former gangbanger. He did 10 years for attempted murder. When he got out of prison, it was basically they had problems with the essays. So when he got out of prison, he was at Walmart, got into it with one of the essays, and when he was walking away, the essay pulled a gun on him, shot him. Like, I think it was like a couple times, shot him, right? Now he runs this tour, so he knows those streets. So when they're going around, and it's funny because it's all rich white people, it looks like, that go on the tour.
Yeah.
So, like, even at one part, and this is on Adam the Woo's YouTube channel, so look it up. There's a white girl who goes, so what gang were you a part of?
Oh
like, that stuff. And they go to this, like, really rich area. What up?
Bro.
And that's the show. But they go to this really rich area, right?
What's up, everybody? Tony! What's up, Tony?
Nigga, I was trying to save the topics and shit.
Nah, you had to talk about it.
We already blew him.
My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Paul.
What up, bro?
Welcome back.
It's good to see you.
Well, you probably been back, but.
No, just back this week, bro. Back this week. So,
back this week?
yeah. So just in conclusion, we were talking about there's this hood tour.
Hood tour.
It's like $70, but they take you in a van. The dude is a former gangbanger. He did 10 years for attempted murder, but he gives a tour of the hood. But in LA, and it's really dope. It's a really dope tour. But I haven't been on it, but I saw a video.
YouTube?
But yeah, on YouTube. Yeah. So if you want the cheap version, go on YouTube. You get most of the tour.
Have you been on tour?
I'm just not figuring this shit out.
But I was talking about because a lot of his customers are like rich white people that go up.
That's about my next question. There's probably like a lot of white tourists, right?
Yeah, so they go up on top of this hill, and it's now they're all multi-million-dollar houses, but it's still right there in the hood. You probably know where I'm talking about. It's like it's like a specific hill that you go up. That's kind of been like gentrified and stuff.
Yeah, that's right by Jim Gilliam Park. So
yeah.
So when you
right there.
when you gotta get to the park, you have to go through that neighborhood and go past it a little bit, and the park is like on the lower side.
Yeah.
But when you go up the hill, it's all rich people. So it's like rich people just looking down on the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
So if you go there, so they went up to the top and they get out of this van, and there's this chick that's just screaming and causing a scene. She's probably tripping out. Like she's probably like all drugged out, tripping out and stuff. And it's funny because she's like yelling, and one of the rich white ladies in the group is like, "Is she talking to us?" But like really loud. And then the guy driving the van, he's like, "Don't do that." He's like, "Don't do that. Don't get involved with that, man."
Yeah, I think that white people, they come here looking for a different experience. Like they're tired of the TMZ Hollywood tour bus tour.
Listen to me. I have my friend, you know who I'm talking about, from Utah.
Oh, yes.
This woman comes over here, right? Take me to Compton. Take me here. I said, listen, okay? My friends are gang affiliated. My family is gang affiliated. There's certain places I can't go. Don't ask me to give you some fucking hood tour. It's not a fucking game.
Yeah.
The fuck is wrong with you? You watch too much fucking TV.
Rap videos, man.
This shit is not funny. What? Okay, if I take you there, what are you gonna do there?
She just wants to see it. The streets.
You wanna get shot? Is that what you want?
But you gotta think, like, Utah is just so mundane. Like, you know what I mean? It's such a foreign thing.
Yo, like, I don't think she realized, like, I felt offended when she asked me that shit.
Did you tell her that?
Yeah, but, like, I think you can hear it in my tone. Like you hear the way I'm talking now. Like I was like, yo, I'm like, are you serious?
Wait, you could tell from body language?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like I was like, are you serious? Like you don't want to. Then I don't want to go there. Why the fuck you want to go there?
Because it's so like, she's basically wants to explore the shit in her imagination. You know what I'm saying?
Like.
But you know, to us, it's like, why the fuck would you want to go through that? Like we deal with it because it's reality, but it's not like we looked for this.
Yeah. Literally, you just grow up in it. Like you're just there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, facts.
And it's like, I always wonder, I'm like, how do these white women end up with these gangster ass dudes? And this is how it happens.
Curiosity.
The curiosity.
Blacked out raw.
Yeah, they're like.
we talked about that
college. It starts in college.
We were talking about that earlier. How Terrence.
Your boy Terrence.
Yeah, how Terrence is on that shit.
Oh man.
And a nigga yesterday I was at the gym and nigga hit me up. He's like, yo, he's like, I forgot how we were talking about porn. We were just talking about. He's like, yeah, there's a new guy on Black, 6'9", a huge motherfucker. I was like, yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's like, is it Louis Smalls? I'm like, I know him as Terrence, but yeah, Louis Smalls.
How you go? You drive the government. Well, we went to school together.
Yeah.
I
he
just
was
like
Terrence Santil.
I like how Terrence is more of a black name than Louis.
That's really true.
Yeah, because when he came with the name, I was like,
Louis
bro,
what?
I said, bro, what the fuck is a Louis Smalls?
Yeah.
He was like, it's kind of a name that they gave me, and I kind of just like ran with it. I was like, okay.
Look, I ain't gay, but there's nothing small about that. Name.
Exactly, dog. He's sick. The man is 6'9".
Everything
250 pounds. Like, there's nothing small about this guy.
Small about this nigga.
Big dude.
Yeah. I don't want no problems with him. So yeah, I have boyfriend duties, so my apologies again for coming through late.
Straight
partner. I mean, let's get into some topics. I mean, can we talk about a couple things? Can we catch up?
We talked about Chappelle.
All right.
And we talked about Shaq and Kobe already a little bit.
Okay.
Before we move on though, what do you think about the Chappelle shit though? Chappelle stand up.
I thought this was one of his probably one of his best specials. I felt like his approach to the whole special was like, I'm taking a bullet for the game. You know, I kind of want to.
He's a martyr.
It's a sacrifice.
Yeah. The sacrificial lamb, Dave Chappelle.
For sure. Like, it's like not Jesus died for our sins, but it's like a Dave died for our right to challenge thought again. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of comics who are like big talk about how like people can't really feed into this media, internet, PC shit so much. Like you see how blogs get trendy and all these little think pieces and articles come up and you feel like, damn, why does everybody hate them? But like when you're performing and you're touring, the experience what you have with the crowd tell you otherwise. So on the road and in real life, that shit is not real. Like, you know what I mean? It's a couple of hundred people that are trying to make this bigger than what it is, but live comedy, I think, is strong, and so I thought, Dave just had a lot of bits where I felt like I laughed out loud watching it, which was great. That's what you want when you watch a special. I would put this in he got 7 specials now, and I sort of did a ranking on Facebook. I would put it in the top 3 or 4 of his specials, and so it was great.
Perfect example of what you're talking about, though. How like you said, like it's just a couple of people.
Like 20 people who write these weird, dumbass.
So perfect example is
things.
His Rotten Tomatoes review,
right,
and his actual audience review. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's so lopsided.
Yeah, I talked
99% compared to like 20%.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
a comic friend of mine who's like a very opinionated guy. Like he's not ever scared to share his thoughts on something, whether he thinks something is funny, something's trash. His thing on the critic side was that. Yeah, the critics were probably a lot harsher than ever with a Chappelle review thing, but it's like their job is supposed to break down all kinds of perspective, which is why for whatever reason, they find so many flaws with him. So some of it, in a way, is valid, but that's not where we're not trying to like come off as politicians.
Yeah,
we're still just doing jokes at the end of the day, despite the fluidity of the subject matter. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, this teaches you though, like the audience still keeps you alive. Like the critics don't make your career as a stand-up. Nah, you can't buy into that. You can't feed into that. You know what I mean? You have to watch for yourself and decide how you want to feel. But if you read so much of what they write, you come into the special without an open mind because you're like kind of like, yeah, he's such a bad because he's trans stuff and he's making fun of the victims of Michael, whatever, and like. you're gonna not want to like him before you watch the special, and you have to
You already
open
prejudged
mind.
him.
You prejudging, and you can't be prejudging with comedy, man.
Yeah. Yep.
You just can't.
Dude, that Chinese bit or just that one joke was so early 2000s.
Yeah.
It was almost like a throwback.
Yeah.
When I
Right.
was like I heard it and I was like, it's so wrong, but that's why people are laughing. They're laughing because it's wrong, not because they
Yes.
agree with it,
Yep.
you know?
And that's the thing. People don't understand. You can laugh at something and still not agree with it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my lady, she likes to go out to kind of like comedy shows and watch it. And she'll be telling me, like, I don't agree with that motherfucker said, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that?
Yeah,
Where there's,
yeah,
what's a
yeah.
comic you watch or what you guys watch? Let's just throw one out there. You don't really buy into anything that they talking about, but they do make you laugh for what it is. Like, you don't subscribe to it.
Like no, like
Can you name one?
Cat Williams for one, when he did the whole because he said he believed Michael Jackson did it.
He did believe. Okay.
But that little segment is funny.
Yeah.
I don't agree like a motherfucker.
But
but
that bit rocks.
it's still funny. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
How about you, Paul?
I'm trying to think of one. Not necessarily, because I don't really go into comedy specials thinking like, oh, this person's opinion is going to change my opinion on
Yeah.
anything. But I just go into looking for the laughs, the beats. And I guess now, like, pre-comedy, I looked at specials different than post-comedy.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Because now I'm looking for the tricks. I'm looking for where's he gonna go with that. So I'm not really looking at the content. I'm looking at the performance. But I'm trying to think if there are. Oh, I got one for you, Nick DiPaolo.
Okay.
So Nick DiPaolo is very.
Oh, he just put out that special that was really like testy last year, right?
Yeah, and he's very conservative. He's a Trump supporter. He's
Netflix?
It was. Now, did it go to Netflix?
No,
I don't
it
think
didn't.
so. It was it was like YouTube or Amazon.
One of the two, but the issue with it was he had an album cover where he's kind of like pointing, like he's scolding, and it's
Yeah.
a group of social justice warriors. But one of the guys that I guess whoever made the album cover just pulled random images. One of the guys was the guy that I don't know if you remember jumped over the protest line and grabbed, was it a Confederate flag, and then
Yeah.
stole the Confederate flag. But then remember he died, so he ended up dying.
How'd he die?
I don't think it was anything.
I don't
I
remember.
don't remember how he died, but anyway, so he ended up dying. But then they put his face on the album, and that was like a lot of backlash.
It was
towards that.
super like testy, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say it ruined his career, but
It
critic wise, even audience wise, like it just gave him a lot more negative press than positive press. Like nobody going into the special like talked about it afterwards in a positive. Like they just felt like Nick went so much for like shock value more so
Yeah.
than like shit that can be shocking, but
Yeah.
there's substance to it.
Yeah.
But and for a comic, he's a guy who's been around like 20 years. He's been on TV a bunch of times. Like he's an established like comic, and
He's a tough crowd guy. He was
he
best friends
came
with
from the
Patrice.
Tough Crowd
you know?
era, from Colin Quinn. You remember that show, Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn? There's a lot of guys from that era, and he was one of them. And it didn't really help him. But like you just felt like you
Yeah.
laughed at some of this shit, but you
Dude, I
didn't
laughed
agree
at a
with
lot
him,
of it. I think he's one of the funniest comics out there. But
even with that special.
But
Yeah.
politically, I used to listen to a Sirius XM show,
Oh, gotcha.
and I used to disagree with everything, but I would still listen to it because it was entertaining, and also it was letting me know how the other side was thinking. You know,
And that's what I do like, because sometimes it doesn't make you a hater if you vehemently disagree with something, but I'm a person where I like to know what the other side is.
Yeah.
Because if all we hear is, if all we're fed is just the thing that we want, that's why comedy gets whacked. Because it's just like when comedians just do the stuff that they think, ladies will enjoy, or they think, oh, white people will like. You know what I mean? That's it's fluff. You know what I'm saying? You only go so far with that.
you know what's crazy, and I'm just thinking about this right now too. You know whose special I turned off because I turned it off pretty early on, and I think he's legendary. He's actually one of my favorite comics, but I just didn't like the special. Was Mike Epps' latest special on Netflix?
What? I thought that was a comeback,
dude,
compared to his last one.
I turned it off.
Nah, I
turned it
thought Mike. If you watched the one before that, the one where he's in the red suit, it wasn't good in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I felt like he even flubbed his final bit in the
Yeah.
one. Like he literally flubbed it and then was like, "I'm gonna do it again because I messed it up." And you see it in the special. It was just
They left it in.
They left it in?
Watch the special. The
That's
special
funny.
it came out 4 years ago. It's like he's in a
Yeah.
red suit and
Oh, Lord.
yeah, he flubs a bit, then like starts over to finish it, and they kept it in there. And like some of the stuff you felt like you heard it before, it just didn't feel like a new set. It kind of felt like rehashed stuff. And you know, Mike is a great comic. Like, but I think this special he redeemed himself. It was really funny.
I turned it
off
a lot
of new stuff
after 10 minutes. So
you checked out.
Maybe it just didn't. Maybe it was just a slow.
I would say watch if you try to sit through the one in the red when he's in the red suit. The one is the first Netflix special he did, and then watch this one. You'll be like, oh wow.
I'll go through it again.
I watched the last one. I was like, oh, this is bad. And then when I watched the new one, I'm like, okay.
He got himself back because the one before that, the underrated never faded. That's like his classic. And I felt like that one. This one is really good. I don't know if it's classic, but it was a comeback from the previous one.
And then you know who I watched that I watched the whole thing and I enjoyed it was she's a UK comic from Canada called her name's Catherine Ryan, and she looks like this like preppy little white girl. It looks like it's a special for a female audience. You know, that's what it looks like. But dude, I loved the special and I thought she crushed it.
Okay.
You know, so
what's her name again?
Catherine Ryan. Yeah. So if you check that one out, it was just, it blew my mind at like her comedy. Yeah. But then it was the weird juxtaposition of, I went in watching the Mike Epps, or when I started watching the Mike Epps special, I love Mike Epps and I love his style of comedy, but he just wasn't doing it for me. And I went into the Catherine Ryan as like, I guess I'll check this out. And for the first couple minutes, it hooked me in, and I watched the whole thing. So you never know, man. You never know who's gonna surprise you.
Yeah.
Before we move on from comedy, right?
All right.
Do you remember Super Hot Fire? But I'm not a rapper. You know what I mean? On YouTube and like.
Oh yeah, he lost his mind. He fucked everything up. Deshaun
Raw. Deshaun
Raw. Yeah.
So I went on his Instagram.
What's he doing now?
He's a comic.
He's working.
Yeah.
He fucking really ruined.
He's on Blacked.
He ruined his shit.
Let me tell you. This is you can look this up. So for those who don't know, Deshaun Raw was one of the first like big YouTube or Instagram?
Yeah, YouTube.
He had these videos where he used to do like these little battle rap things.
Psych. Wrong. You got the wrong number.
Oh, and have the crowd hype and would just kind of like do the wild style, but then made his own little version of that, and it would kill. And then he even got Kevin Hart in it. He got Chris Rock in it, and it was popping. He was huge. I believe Chris Rock had helped him get a deal with Comedy Central to shoot a pilot or something like that. The pilot just didn't go. Like, whatever reason, the network decided they want to go through with it. And he just took it as they don't know what they're doing. And he just did a big fuck you to everybody. Like, even said, like, to Chris Rock, everybody. And he just said, I don't need this shit. Fuck that. They just trying to ruin my shit. And he was like, yeah, you know what? I'll even show you this. I'll delete all my shit. And I can do it again. And he deleted all his videos.
YouTube shit?
Yeah, the shit that made him big. And then that's what people like. That's why you couldn't find it or whatever like that. He deleted he scrubbed all of it. And then you just didn't hear from him. Like, he went ghost. Like, he didn't start doing Instagram when Instagram got popping or whatever. And he got lost in the sauce. And there have been other social media comedians that have surpassed him. But for, like, a good moment, 2012, 2011, 2013, millions of hits on those rap battle videos. And, I don't
know how, but I stumbled across his IG page, right? And I feel like a lot of these young niggas, they just don't respect the OGs. And this is why I feel this way, right? He came out with, like, his own comedy special. And Eddie Murphy shit with the red suit. Which one's that called?
That's Delirious, the red suit.
He had the same background, the same suit. He didn't name it Delirious. He named it Deranged. And I sent it to Preemie, and I was like, yo, look at this fucking bullshit.
Please send me that.
I was like, look at this bullshit. And then Preemie was like, yeah, this nigga's definitely deranged if you think that shit is okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a dude that just, he kind of lost it, man. So,
I mean, I've seen some of his shit on his Instagram, like a couple of his jokes. It's not bad, you know what I mean? But, fuck, man, you fuck all your shit up like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, he did a big fuck you to everybody. Then you delete everything that made you successful, and you said you could repeat it and get it back, and he didn't get it back.
Like, I'm sensitive and emotional, but I ain't stupid. You know what I mean? There's a difference.
And I think he was just too young. He didn't understand business, comedy, and so that just, and he just he was doing like raw cool stuff, but I don't think he got it yet. And you're just too young. And that happens. So let's move on.
We were talking about the Shaq and Kobe thing, right?
Okay.
And I was telling him that people took Kobe's shit out of context, right? So it's not like Shaq didn't work hard. You just didn't work as hard as Kobe.
Yeah.
And a good comparison I gave him was, it was like, if somebody asked you, where do you think Bones would be if he was hitting the clubs the same amount as you would? You'd be like, oh, well, he'd be a lot more established then. You know, because I don't hit the clubs as much as you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing as much work as you, so I'm just not there yet. I'm not to where I think I could be.
There.
So
Okay, go ahead,
Paul
finish.
was like, so niggas, you're Kobe then.
Well, we're not gonna divide us like that, Paul. No, what I'll
Phil
say is
Jackson.
stupid triangle. No, what I would say sometimes it's not even about like the hard work because there's no way you can have the career Shaq has had if you don't work hard. What it's more is about is a certain facet of the game. So whereas a guy like Kobe worked on his skill set, worked on his body, and conditioning. Shaq's biggest thing was the conditioning because he would come to camp overweight, out of shape. That would lead when you're out of shape and you're playing at the level that he plays at, the intensity you play at, you get hurt easier. It makes you more fragile. So that's where you could compare the work and the stand-up where it's like, yeah, we both get up a lot, but I write more. I listen to my set. I tweak more. You just rely more for your natural ability instead of focusing and fine-tuning. And the more when you're just like that, you're more forgetful, so you don't keep your set good or whatever like that. So I don't think it's more so the hard work because I think you like even as lazy as whatever Shaq could have said he was, he did something where he could like still be putting up 25 to 30 points a game, 10 rebounds and dominate. You know what I'm saying? But it was the one facet was conditioning, which was Kobe's issue. It was just conditioning. It's like your ass don't be in shape. Like nigga, you come to camp fat every time.
Stephen A. said that he would see him eating a Big Mac before the game.
Yeah, you would eat Burger King. And there's a theory about conditioning and whatever like that. Like when you're that kind of an athlete, if you really working out like that, you actually can ingest like food like that. Like I see like football players like whatever like that, they can eat a McDonald's because they need to feed their shit.
Like have you seen Nate
Right.
Robinson? He eats
Right.
Five Guys all the time. And have you
'Cause he
seen this
burns
nigga with
it.
no fucking shirt on?
He's ripped. He's
He's
but
not even as tall as one.
Shaq was big, and when you have a big body like that, and you're 7 feet, and your fucking shoes like 25 feet, there's a lot of things that can just That's why we worried about Joel Embiid so much, and get he needs to be in better condition because his body can break down so easy if you don't take care of yourself. Yeah. And I think that was people focus on just Kobe saying, "Oh, Shaq didn't do shit." It's just conditioning. So it's more specific than an overall diss. Yeah. I already knew that it wasn't going to be any beef again because they've already addressed this. Kobe said it to his face. Yeah. He already said it to his face. Yeah. So it's like, how you going to try and instigate some shit that a nigga already said to somebody's face? Like
you already know how I felt.
You already know
if
how
I say this, it's nothing new.
But you're gonna. Kobe is still a superstar. He's still a celebrity. And when you do these fucking media things for whatever you're promoting or whatever, they're always going to just ask you questions about the past or what you're known for, and he's still going to give his answer. Unless he says, don't ask me no more questions about Shaq, if they keep asking him about little things like that, it's always going to come up. And then the media will try to run away with it and start instigate feud again. And then fucking Dwight Howard, of all people, gets caught up in the crossfire.
I ain't gonna lie, I seen Dwight, he looks healthy, though. I mean, he looks skinnier, but he still got muscle on him and shit. That dumbass haircut gotta go though. You just shave your shit bald, nigga. Like, what the fuck's going on?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about the hair. Let's talk about something else.
Okay. Next subject. I was having an argument with somebody. Better musical career: 50 Cent or Rick Ross?
All right, I'm gonna do something very Nick, like define musical career.
Oh. Okay, whose music was more impactful? Who had more sales? When it just comes to just their music, who do you think was more successful?
On a successful standpoint, it's 50 Cent by far. Rick Ross doesn't hold a candle to 50 Cent's career as a successful music artist. When we evaluate record sales, commercial appeal, touring, things like that, 50's fan base kills Rick Ross's fan base.
Plus, he didn't steal his name.
Like at first,
and was it?
I said, plus he didn't steal his name.
Oh, for the persona thing.
Well, he actually did.
Freeway Ricky.
He actually did. There is the real 50 Cent was part of the Supreme team.
Queen, right? It's a Queens thing.
Yeah, they're gonna say the Supremes for some reason.
No, he was part of the Supreme team. He was a short dude, right? That literally used to rob.
Niggas
he used to rob rappers. He robbed LL Cool J. He robbed Rakim. He used to rob big time rappers of their change and shit.
Right.
And he was feared. And
did you say of their change?
No, chains.
I thought you said change.
No.
Yo, give me your quarters, nigga.
Yeah, the real 50 Cent. And this is why in one of the songs, I think it might have been Many Men. No, it might have been Many Men. He said someone shot me 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, he got shot down. You know what I mean? He said Hamo shot at me, and 3 weeks later he got shot down.
Yeah.
that nigga Hamo is part of the Supreme team, and they put a hit out on 50 for taking on the real 50 Cent's persona. You know what I mean? They wasn't with that shit because 50 had passed away. The real 50 had passed away, so it wasn't with it. Right. They sent Hamo to go kill him, Hamo, a.k.a. Homicide, to go kill him. And he missed, and 3 weeks later, he got killed. Yeah. Which is why Mike Tyson and 50 don't really get along like that, because Hamo was Mike Tyson's best friend. But
50 still bought the house, though. Oh, this is after?
Yeah, this is like way after. You know what I mean? Like they cleared some shit up, but yeah.
But persona name shit aside, commercially, 50 Cent would still kills what Rick Ross does as far as like record sales and, like I said, touring. 50 Cent would do bigger venues when he goes out on tour compared to Rick Ross. It's just it is what it is.
At first, I said Rick Ross because I was looking at like how many, because he's 10 albums in. 50 Cent I think he only got 5 albums.
Like 5 to 6. Yeah. But he put a lot of mixtapes though.
I mean, he put out, he has 10 mixtapes.
Yeah.
No, he has 8 mixtapes. Rick Ross has 10.
But 50 also got G-Unit mixtapes though.
I guess if you want to.
Yeah, I mean that's the crew thing too. When you're a star and you have the crew, that's music that you're given, because a lot of times, like, you know, I don't know if people know this, 50 Cent gave a lot of what could have been his second album to Game's album. Mm-hmm. Like when you hear "Hate It or Love It" and "This Is How We Do," and it was like, yo, that could sound like a 50 song, and you hear 50 on those hooks and doing the verses. Mm-hmm. Those were his songs, but he gave some of those songs to Game so that Game's first album could rock. And when you do work with like your crew or whatever, like, or with another artist, sometimes you give some of your shit away because you're trying to make other guys hot.
So then, how do you feel about like Rick Ross and he had Wale on his shit, Meek Mill?
Well, what's the name of their group?
Del MG.
I mean, music group. I would take. I mean, that clique. Well, they haven't done. They broke up a while. They haven't really been.
They haven't really been doing.
How much work did they do together?
They had the whole. They had 2 albums.
2 albums. Yeah. You take their 2 albums over the G-Unit 2 albums. Because that G-Unit first G-Unit
album
was
amazing,
crazy.
And then the second one was.
The second one's all right, but that first one
I think it was Terminator on Sight. It wasn't that good.
But the first one
was really good.
Yeah, but I mean MMG. I mean I can't. Wale's had a good career. I mean all of those other guys.
Meek career is great.
Yeah, that kills everybody in G-Unit because nobody did good past their first album.
Yeah, and Lloyd Banks fucking disappeared.
Yeah,
he was my favorite.
He was one. Yeah, we all love Lloyd, but Lloyd. Oh, man. Yeah, but so Ross in that sense had the better overall team. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Lloyd Banks said a line that I will never forget.
Which one is this
one?
He
said, if my chick was in flicks, she'd be the girl of a mob boss, mean head game, she's sucking corn on a cob off. I said, ooh! I'll never forget that shit, dog.
Lloyd was a cold spitter. Yeah. But then it's like, okay, well, we look to see about the classic album thing. 50 has the Get Rich or Die Trying.
Nothing compares to that fucking Get Rich or Die Trying.
What's considered Ross's classic? Port of Miami? Is it a great album or is it a classic?
It's a great album. Because it did go platinum, but Get Rich or Die Trying went 6 times platinum.
Right. But even record sales aside, we're just talking about like the quality with song to song, like no skippables, album cuts, like people hold Port of Miami as his best album, like, you know. But Ross is also known for not having any duds on his catalog, and 50 has a couple of albums that just hasn't resonated. You know what I mean? But the Get Rich, the Massacre, even I'll say the third one too was good, and the Get Rich soundtrack was pretty fire. So that's about 4. It's tough. I think. But the consistency of Ross is something too you should give credit to. Like,
because he just
every time he comes out, you know.
He never really flopped.
He never flopped.
He never had a flop album.
50 has some flops on
I think Curtis was a flop.
Well, it still did well, but the thing of losing to Kanye, the perception thing. But Curtis still did well. But I think anything after that was kind of a flop. You know, what is it called? I forgot what Rage Against the Machine. I don't know what he called his albums after that. But none of them.
Yeah, the one where he had like
Baby
the Terminator
by Me
face,
and Do You Think About Me, like a couple of songs, but the albums then you weren't talking about them. So it's a tough one. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's do you value the success of certain things over the longevity, consistency thing?
Yeah, that was my thing. I'm like, when 50 was hot, 50's hot. Like Rick Ross's hot doesn't compare to 50's hot.
Yeah,
like
Rick Ross's 10 years is still not better than 50's best 1-2 years, like 2003 to 2005.
This is what I was gonna say. Like Rick Ross's best, like the peak of his career doesn't compare to 50 Cent's peak of his career. But
or 50's worst year.
It's like so it's like he peaked up here, Rick Ross peaked here, but then he just stopped, and then Rick Ross just kept coming out with more and more shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's hard to compare.
That separation is even more because, like I said, remember he came up under the Eminem umbrella, broke out one song, Wanksta, goes into the album, and that's one of the most hype rappers like of all time. Like he was definitely like one of those like. He's in the category of this is gonna be the next big rapper, then becomes the big rapper. Like on the hype train, it's like him, it's like Drake, it's like who else had a lot of hype and then became like Mace kind of had the same thing. Like Nas had the hype and then became whatever. It didn't look Well, Wayne was always kind of there, but you know what I mean. There's certain guys who were like, "Bill, is this gonna be the Nicki Minaj?" And then instantly broke out. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I don't know. So who would you take?
At first, I said Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a man.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah.
Rick Ross was my shit. Like that's all I listened.
Yeah.
I listened to Rick Ross. I listened to Get Rich or Die Trying, but Rick Ross like stuck with me more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was a kid. He was a kid from Carroll City. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the relatability thing. God, the ladies is FaceTiming you, son.
Not right now.
Okay, not right. We working out over here right now. It's what we do. We turn away FaceTimes for podcast time.
Yeah.
Paul, who would you take? Like, do you value being, quote unquote, the better rapper, like lyrical guy, or do you value the success more? And it's not like 50 didn't put out like good songs or good projects afterwards because he's got good mixtapes that's come out this decade, but the album to album thing I think has definitely gone to Ross's favor this decade. But what do you like? What would you go with?
Yeah, I don't know. 50 stands out to me more.
50 stands out just when you listen. It's just more. You just okay.
Yeah, 50 does stick out more.
But even
like,
as a pop culture
Yeah.
icon, like 50. I mean, now everybody's on his Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
He's been in the news a lot more.
Well, he trends more because he entertains. Like Ross is more about the music. Ross has some personality thing, like the whole boss moves things. That's kind of like people know you about that outside of the rap, but 50 does so much more outside of rap now.
Yeah.
But like I said, he doesn't. His music ain't trash, but it's just you look to the music for Ross more than you do for 50 now.
I agree with that.
But I think I have to take 50.
Plus, I think I'm gonna go 50. I mean, I want to
really
say
tough.
Ross,
It's not easy.
but I think I'm gonna go 50.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like saying it like it's a easy toss away though. It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that being said, we're gonna do something new. Every week we're gonna give a classic album of the week. So, because it's 50,
Yep.
we we implore you
Yeah.
to take a look at and listen to these tracks from 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
Classic.
It's a plug and play. There's no skips on that album.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, there's no song I would like skip. There's a couple songs like, it's not my favorite, but I don't think I can skip it because it's still a good song. And also one of those albums where like the way his wave was so crazy, like everybody tried to look and dress like 50 Cent. Like, niggas really had on bulletproof vests, white do-rags, G-Unit, 3XTs.
I had the do-rag with the New York fitted on top of it.
Right.
Because you wear the do-rag, you tie it up in the back, you put the hat on top. And then I had the G-Unit sneakers. Me and Rashad had the G-Unit sneakers.
Had G-Unit sneakers.
Oh, man. I had it all.
50 even got a video game, you guys.
I'll teach you how to stunt. Man,
I teach you how to stunt.
Yeah, I was all in that shit, man.
Did you get 50's video game?
Yeah, 50 Cent Bulletproof. Yeah.
It wasn't that good, but he
It
tried.
was like the hood Max Payne. Because you could do like the slow motion shit.
Yeah, the third person. Yeah. And you could like beat somebody up with your bulletproof vest.
Exactly.
Now, Get Rich. What's your favorite? Maybe if not favorite song, let's give like your 3 favorite songs off Get Rich. I know mine.
Many Men.
Yeah, that's one of mine.
There's a song with him, Lloyd Banks, and Eminem. I need you to pray for me, and
it's one of the ones I
need you
don't
to care
like.
for me.
It's a good song.
It's because Eminem ran through that track, and Lloyd Banks ran through that track. Like they
killed 50 on that?
Their verses were so just so good.
Yeah, it is. It's just I didn't like the beat. That was my the beat.
The beat was really bad, but
it's catchy.
But the lyrics
and that hook,
it was just
okay. What's your third one?
And then so Many Men, that one, and it might be Nobody Likes Me.
Yeah, that's from his other project that they put on that one as a bonus track.
Okay. Murder, your life's on the line. Oh man, they came for Ja Rule's neck on that one, boy.
He has 2 ones, right? It's Back Down and that song, right?
Yeah,
those are 2 diss tracks.
And then I think that track was like a two-way track because at the end it's like I smell pussy. Is
Oh,
that
yeah,
you,
yeah.
John? I smell pussy. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally remember reading the album cover. I'm like, oh, he got a song called "I Smell Pussy." I want to get the album now.
Y'all niggas is pussy. Ooh.
My favorite three, Many Men is definitely in there. You're Not Like Me.
Yeah.
I teach you how to shine like me. Me. Rhyme like me. Me. Carry work for 3 to 9 like me. Me. And you gonna do it take 9 like me. Me. Yeah. So You're Not Like Me. Many Men. What else? I'm trying to think.
Man, I have one more.
I ain't playing, know what I'm saying. With the
playing.
fucking click and the reload gunshot,
Yeah.
like that was a beat.
God.
Shout out to Shaw Money XL. He had them dope ass beats
yeah,
too.
He really did.
Yeah, you looking up the track list?
What happened? Oh yeah, I'm gonna play something at the on the outro. So.
Yeah.
No, oh, but my
Sleeper.
My sleeper was definitely Wankster.
Yeah, you know, fucking Wankster was the shit.
Dog, I used to love that song.
Remember the commercial Stefan Marbury had with
yes,
N1 and then he's doing the dribble things through Brooklyn.
God.
Wankster has so many.
Bro, tell me this.
Go ahead.
I know you seen the video.
For sure.
This nigga 50 literally got by from doing this.
Yeah.
The whole video, all he did was this.
I used to do that all the time.
They would cut to like another section, like him doing like in another area, and he was still.
Because he had to do this, and his jeans would start falling. He had to pick it back up. And
like the whole video, he did that shit.
Wankster. Yeah, Wankster just meant so much. Wankster is so trendy. The damn homie in high school, you used to be the man homie. Like that's
niggas was saying that shit all the time.
Nah,
all the time. Dog.
Yeah, that would be the bonus track too. So yeah, I think if like for a true classic rap album, like it impacted everything. It's like lyrically good, song for song good. He got good features. The beats is fire. Some dope ass songs. It's a long album and it still holds like the whole way through. That's about 20 songs, and it had mad major hits. It's got PIMP in the club. Obviously, that's a birthday anthem for niggas.
It got 21 Questions on there.
Questions. That's the Hold Me Down in Jail song.
It
covers every facet of what a classic album, it is, commercially and critically.
He smashed that album.
Check out Get Rich or Die Trying.
Smashed
we only gonna hit you with the classics, y'all.
Yeah, he smashed that one.
Yeah, we wanna get into one more thing before we wrap up?
And if you have time, the soundtrack is actually good too.
From the movie.
Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack. I'll bust your head, boy. I'll whoop your head, boy.
Was, I never tell my life.
Oh yeah,
I'm a hustler.
Yeah, in the beginning, fight the fire that feeds the air. I won't burn unless you're there. You're there. I need you.
I need
you for your energy.
It's like your stomach is like boiling.
Yeah. So before we close out, you have any final thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, man. I'm happy of the kind of impact that Chappelle's stand-up is having on the scene. There's gonna be a lot of comics trying to just do shit just to kind of like feel like they're deep or whatever like that. And them niggas you gotta weed out. But I think it just gives people confidence to just want to try and do stuff. You just gotta weather that storm if you're really about it. Yeah, man. Reflecting on the classic discussion is really cool, man, because like that is like a true thing of a class, because it moved the culture. Everything like stopped. Though he had the world in the palm of his hand. Those first 2-3 years he was out, and it's a great album. Like I just think about albums like that. We really get. It's rare to get an album like that. That comes like once in every few years.
I love that album. You can hear the pain
for sure
in his voice on every track. Like
every track.
The hunger, dog.
Yeah, the hunger. It's nothing like the hunger in a rapper, the hunger in a comic, like the right when they're making it phase.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like they're never the same after that. Even if they put great shit out after that, the level where you're like writing about to take off is just the best I ever want to see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always feel like that for the most part. So, yeah, those are my final thoughts. What you got? What you want to wrap up with?
My final thought. This is always a final thought of mine. If you're not black, stop saying nigga, please.
Always. Let's keep that going.
Stop.
Weekly reminders.
Yeah, I mean, if you could whoop my ass, I probably won't press you.
But I'll ask you nicely.
Yeah,
please stop saying nigga.
Do not say it around me.
Please stop saying nigga.
You know what I mean? But if I can whoop you, I'm definitely gonna press you. Hey, can you stop saying that? But there's that, and also in the hardest of times, that's when you should work. That's when you should work even harder. So when you feel like you're about to give up,
Yeah.
that's when you got to kick it up another notch. You know what I mean? Because you never know how close you are to the point of like actually making it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of times you feel like you want to give up. You work so hard to get to this point. Don't quit now. You know what I mean? And don't let anybody discourage you from following your dreams. I don't give a fuck how old you are or how bad your comedy is or how bad your rap is, how bad your art is. Whatever it is that you do, you keep doing it. You have no choice but to get better.
That's true.
If you keep working on it, you have no choice but to get better. So
I co-sign that.
That's my final thought.
Anything you want to plug, push? What you got coming up?
Follow me at Ty Sterling. I've been doing my own little segment. It's called the Me, Myself, and Ty show.
I like that. That's a good concept.
I ask a question on Instagram in the beginning of the week.
A little social media engagement.
Yeah,
Okay.
I ask a question, have people vote on it. People send me DMs, and then I record a video at the end of the week. I release it on Friday, and then I answer everybody's questions and give my opinion on it.
Super honest opinion, guys. And all that shit is messy. Like going to fucking dinner with the ex for closure because the nigga going to jail for life and
all types of crazy shit.
You be really going for it, man.
Yeah.
you more fearless than me. I know I'm soft now. I'm not trying to answer that question.
Thank you, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, man. You got any shows? Anything you want? Anything coming up?
No. Next week, I do want to get on some mics. I want to do that Flappers thing you were telling me about.
Yes.
6 o'clock Wednesday at Flappers.
Right.
See how I'll do there.
Okay.
So
yeah, send Tony some good vibes. He's gonna go for it and see what he got on Wednesday. You gonna do it, or you gonna do some more reps and then?
I think I want to do one more week of reps because I got like some new shit that I want to work out. And then do it the following week.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good that you're getting back on the stage, man.
Yeah.
As far as me, I think it's time to tell you guys that Cornbread Kitchen is back off hiatus. We're doing our show next Sunday at the UCB Sunset. Black Twitter Show is back, so some sketch, some improv, and everything else in between. Come check us out 8 o'clock at UCB on Sunset. It's great. It's free. Come support live sketch and improv from young black talented people and our token white. Hey, follow us at Cornbread Kitchen or Cornbread CBK Comedy on Twitter and Cornbread Kitchen on Instagram, and follow our page at For the Culture Live. We back up and running, so we're gonna definitely get it back to the weekly content with you guys. So stay tuned, man. Just keep supporting, keep checking us out.
Peace.